We don't have much time here. It's Thursday morning down in Key West for our 2009 On the Water Anarchy, brought to you by Quantum, as well as brought to you by the Flying Tiger. The new 7.5, Moose McClintock driving, having a rough time of it, but it looked like you guys are having a blast out there.
Yeah, no, the boat's great. I mean, it's really easy to sail. It's pretty quick. You know, it's certainly not 78 quick. You know, we're thinking it's closer to 100 or 103 quick, but you know, there's not much we can do about that. So we sort of accepted it. Try to just sail the boat as well as you can, and that gets negated a little bit by just getting off the line and having big boats around, and you can't go the way you want to go. So that's made it tough. But you know, once we sort of get out and we sail by ourselves, you know, the boat, it's fun to sail. It's very easy to sail. It's, you know, we had one really good downwind leg yesterday. The breeze came up to planing conditions for, you know, the second half of the leg, and we made up, I don't know, probably 5 minutes in the last 10 minutes of the leg. So.
But other than that, you're 25 feet long, and that's it. We watched that, you know, Waukee 40, whatever. Yeah. You guys had a perfect start yesterday, boat end, and they just, you know, they came long behind you, but they're going a knot and a half faster or something. They just rolled right over the top. That's how it's been always. I mean, yesterday, first race, we took the pin start, pinched off a J109. We're like, oh, this is good. And then the rest of the fleet just put it in overdrive, and then right away we're out of phase. You know, we can't live where we got to live, so it's just it's hard. But you know, like I said, we've accepted it. You know, I talked to Peter Craig about it quite a bit, and you know, they're limited because they don't know what the boat's going to do. You know, they look at it and say, it looks like you can do this. You know, in fact, you know, I talked to him and he said, well, you know, you weren't even close on where you thought it was going to be. I said, well, you know, it's closer than you. But you know, it's the best I can do. So this is a learning experience, and it'll be great for the boat because now they'll have an accurate number for it to do racing and promoting around the country. You know, and you know, ideally it'll be like a lot of sport boats, be better as one design. But I think that they can get an accurate PHRF number. You know, I said somewhere around 100. I mean, we sailed in light air against J10 or J80s that were the exact same in under 6. So. You know, and they were 120 or something. So it's, you know, it's got its good moments, its bad moments. But as a one design, I think it'd be slick. I mean, the boat's, it's a lot of fun. It's a little tricky. You know, the swept-back spreaders make it a little bit tougher to control a rig, so you can't really do much when we're sailing the boat. The main's holding up to the head stay. You let that off, and the head stay takes off the leeward, and off you go to leeward with it. Yep. So you know, there's a lot of limitations on sort of what you're going to do. But I think that if the boats are all sailing together, and the boat it'll get optimized. Sails get optimized more. The keel right now is anything special that has to get optimized. I think, you know, the boat's very stable. Go with a smaller rudder. I called it sort of analogous with training wheels almost.
Sort of, yeah. It's a lot more stable. I mean, when it's planing, it's way more stable than Algis, and it, you know, it really gets up and goes. When, you know, the one thing that we saw is that, you know, when you get a puff and it starts planing, you sail 15 degrees lower. Yeah. And you know, that's one of the biggest things. We're sailing downwind, you know, doing almost 90-degree jives. And the breeze comes up, we're doing like 45-degree jives. And that makes, you know, a huge difference. We can almost sail the same angles as big boats, but we're going faster. So, you know, for what we're doing, we're never going to touch the top 3 in the class. They're well-sailed boats, and they've got
more logical ratings.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, they got history. Yeah. You know, this boat has no history, so it is what it is for this regatta. Sure. And it'll be better. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see 5 or 6 of these come next year, rating 105 or 108 or something, and have an unbelievable regatta. Yeah. You know, have a lot of fun.
So what are you doing? You know, I know you're working on sails and sail shapes, and it's sort of a test bed for this boat. What are you working on?
Well, you know, well, we need another smaller kite, you know, sort of for VMG stuff and for high-speed plane, kind of like the Melges. So we haven't got that. We did one shaped not quite right, so we're not going to use it. The main has to be a little bit different. You know, the top is this typical fathead sail. It's very flat up top, and that's an issue as far as, you know, the main sheet, you're cranking as hard as you can to get the top to come in some, and you're just closing down the bottom leach. So if there's we're working on sort of proportion with that. We did a real heavy air jib for this we haven't used yet, but you know, it's something we thought you might need if it got up to like 25 or so. We got a heavy that we used all day yesterday that was nice, but it was tough. End of the day, when the breeze died a little bit and it was choppy, that was brutal. Yeah. You know, the rig's tight, but there's enough puff that you can't really let it off, and you know, middle part of the course where it's choppy. That's where the big bush just kill us. You know, we get on the chop, and this thing's just not big and powerful enough to go through the chop. So proportionally, what they're doing to us is really exaggerated at that point. And we, you know, at that point, we kind of laughed about it and said, well, you know, we forgot the beer.
Well, the boat's got a massive cooler right in the middle of it, so why aren't you bringing some more beer?
Well,
You're not going to win.
Trying to save a little bit. Well, I was thinking about that. We got to get some beer on board. In fact, I think that's where he's going right now. Pick up a case or two.
All right, Moose. Well, listen, good luck today. You guys are having a good time. That's what matters, and the boat looks great. And hopefully you have a little better result today.
Good, thanks.